He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
Everybody says Mark Carney's the luckiest guy. Like, I give him some credit. They ran in the end, the campaign was kind of sort of got a little goofy and traditional liberal horseshit. But when he came out of the gates and when they stayed on the theme that he's the only guy who could fight Trump, I think it went very well for them.
It's the old politics adage, right? It's better to be lucky than smart. He got very lucky.
It's always better to be lucky. I'll take lucky at the casino over smart any day. But in the end, it was a mix of fear. And one of the things we should always remember is the population of Canada. The liberal support is basically about 32 to 33% of the population built in. You have to really, really piss them off, like Justin pissed them off, to drop below 32%.
Highly centered around Ontario, Quebec, too.
Or the Maritimes, too. I mean, some in BC. But at the end of the day, there's a rock solid until you really fuck up, like Justin, like royally, crazily, for a long period of time. Worst guy. It's hard to erode that base. That base is pretty much there.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened was under Carney was also Trump. So when you combine the fear of Trump, the incredible, I don't believe anybody really thought. I mean, Trump did talk about tariffs all the way through the campaign, but no one alive thought that out of the gate would be 51st state. Nobody thought
Insanity.
of that. No, nobody thought of that. That was not on anybody's projections. That was not on anybody's
And I don't think
plan.
anyone would have expected the sort of ferocity that a lot of Canadians came out swinging with their own nationalism.
No, that didn't surprise me, actually. I mean, at the end of the day, people who live in Canada, by and large, believe in Canada. So if somebody says, well, I think we should take away Canada and replace it with something else, people are going to be angry. But what happened then was, so Justin's gone. Best possible replacement might not have been the best possible replacement in a normal political year, but the almost instantaneous appearance of the Trump threat, because the tariffs were far more than everybody expected, like 10% reciprocal tariffs. All of a sudden, there's the attack on the automotive industry. There's the 51st state bullshit. The Conservative campaign had a bunch of difficulty making a total pivot. And then Carney shows up and has two masterstrokes. First is just natural. He is this gray-haired, old, soft-spoken...
He's boring
banker. Who is probably... At that moment in time, if you're a 65-year-old boomer who's scared shitless of Trump, then maybe this guy, wow, he seems like me. So that happened. Then in Quebec, nothing could have galvanized support for Carney in Quebec more than Trump, because in the normal course of events, Quebec leans towards the Bloc because they want their rights protected, they want their culture protected, they want their language protected. But all of a sudden, probably from the rest of Canada, in reality,
they'd rather be
but when
Canadian.
the rest of Canada doesn't count anymore, because there's this orange man and the orange man bad in the U.S. who wants to. They think, well, shit. I mean, we were worried about Canada and our culture. This is 100 times more dangerous, this thing, okay? So naturally, the swing towards a national figure who looked like this distinguished gray-haired banker in a suit.
Well, and now that I think about it, I mean, that was sort of the appeal of Stephen Harper too, wasn't it? Boring economist who could guide the economy. So maybe there's some similarities there too.
Sweet Jesus, did he have shitty opponents?
Yes, he did.
I mean, Christ almighty, like you couldn't have picked a worse candidate than a couple of, who was the very worst one?
Iggy.
Ignatieff.
Yeah.
Like Ignatieff, I knew like old women. I knew an old Ukrainian woman because Ignatieff was Ukrainian, and she said to me once, just in conversation during the run up to that election, she says, Ignatieff is the dibuk. He is the devil.
Yeah.
I can tell in his eyes. So, fuck me. There was something about that guy turned people off.
Well, I mean, he just said stupid things.
Too many stupid things.
Yeah.
Ran a stupid campaign. He was stupid, even though he's a Harvard professor. Which should make us think. But anyway, Carney the winner. We see what happens. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Not my choice. But not a steal, not a cheat, not a fix, none of those things. So my suggestion to everyone in Canada is that we acknowledge the new Prime Minister. We give support as much as we can because there is a crisis, there is a Trump, there is something to get through. But eventually that becomes solved. No crisis sustains forever. And then we go back to meticulously watching the actions of the government and
holding them accountable.
And in my case, roast them over a fucking fire. Okay. As I did with Justin for the last couple of years.
It's bonfire season.
But respectfully, he is the Prime Minister. He's won the day. And let's be good, all of us who voted otherwise, let's be good losers because bad losers is a shit thing. So let's promote the support for the Prime Minister until we don't.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.